Cuphead is a 2017 run-and-gun video game developed by Studio MDHR. The game was developed in the rubber hose style of cartoons based in the 1930s to emphasize on the game's cartoony, fun-loving style. Cuphead is played with 1 to 2 characters, Cuphead and Mugman, replaying levels that end in boss fights in order to repay their debt to the devil, hence the game's signature tagline, "Don't deal with the devil." The game was praised for its art style and noted for its challenging difficulty. It was a critical and commercial hit success, receiving multiple Academy Awards and selling over 5 million copies in the first 2 years of the game's launch. Cuphead was the first game for Studio MDHR, a Canadian indie game development team consisting of 2 brothers. Animation was added by Jake Clark and programming was induced by Eric Belinsky. Cuphead's animation design was inspired by Walt Disney Studios, complementing their submissive and immersive art style. The 2 brothers watched 1930s-style cartoons in their youth, and it inspired them to make things similar to those same cartoons. The brothers then developed a Cuphead prototype in the year 2000, but were unsatisfied with the game due to the technology at the time. The main inspiration for the game Cuphead surprisingly came from a 1936 Japanese propaganda animated film where a man with a teacup for a head transforms into a tank. The animation style for Cuphead was emulated the way it was because they stated that it felt natural to see a man with a teacup for a head running around shooting lasers out of his fingers. The brothers then experimented with over 150 different character designs for Cuphead and Mugman. The animation style in Cuphead is obviously referencing the 1930s style cartoons. One of the brothers, who had recently worked for tech design for Cuphead, made the background of the game using only watercolors and finalized them using Adobe Photoshop. The game runs at 60 frames per second, while the animation only runs at 24, which is a typical standard for films. Jared Moldenhar oversaw every aspect of development, discussing them with him and his brother as they went by. The brothers hired a Roman developer, a Brooklyn animator, and an Ontario jazz artist for the game's soundtrack OST. Cuphead's OST is composed of 51 entire soundtracks, all performed by big jazz and instrumental artists. The 2 brothers described Cuphead as a difficult retro game. They both were being guilty of being obsessed with run-and-gun type style 2D shooters. They wanted the player to feel loose after receiving or giving damage, giving the game more emphasis when entering a major boss battle. The developers planned to break the Guinness World Record books for having the most boss battles in the entire game, 30, surpassing the current world record, which was originally 25. The graphical and visual design of the game, and depending on how many people worked on the game, it was for sure Studio MDH's biggest project, so the brothers took extreme measures, meaning they remortgaged their house in order to bring depth and a lively feeling into Cuphead. Cuphead was originally shown off at 2014's Electronic Entertainment Expo, however the game was not playable and was estimated to only be about 40% complete. Stated by the developers, Cuphead was essentially made via expansion passes, which included 15 bosses each. Then, on September 29th, 2017, Cuphead released worldwide for the Xbox One and Microsoft Windows. Studio MDHR also teased later releases for the Mac and Linux softwares as well. Cuphead was originally supposed to be an Xbox exclusive, meaning it was compatible with Xbox Play Anywhere. Downloadable content for the game was also available around this time, the Delicious Last Course, that included a brand new playable character, levels, and bosses. This DLC was shown off at E3 2018, announcing to be releasing in early 2019. The content was, however, pushed back towards early 2020 due to developmental problems with the game's engine. A suitable version of Cuphead was revealed on March 20th, 2019 that would be coming to the Nintendo Switch later that year. According to the development team, this was made possible when the Microsoft team came to Studio MDHR came to Nintendo to discuss a port being on their system. Cuphead was released in Telsa software as well, developed by Elon Musk in version 10.0, even though the only first level is what's playable. Polygon described Cuphead as one of the 5 most interesting reveals at Microsoft's E3 2018 reveal. Cuphead was also nominated for Best Independent Game at Xbox's 2016 E3 press conference. Cuphead also received Generally Favored by the Public in late 2019. Despite dying over 188 times in his entire playthrough of the game, Ray Carcel felt no frustration. Rather, he felt motivation to get better and dig his heels deeper in the game. Peter Brown of GameSpot Plus opined that combating enemies provided a considerably rewarding experience. He described the cartoon aesthetic as charming, adding that it infused color and expression to the game. Lucas Sullivan from Games Radar Plus described Cuphead as standing tall among the best 2D shooters of all time. He also noted the game for the adorable animation and the amount of detail put into the watercolor backdrops. IGN's Joe Screbble called the game outstanding with the game's soundtrack OST, and the animation animation fitting nicely with the game's aesthetics. Chris Schilling of PC Gaming expressed approval of the controls, saying that their reliable jump and dash moves led to more nimble and responsive handling. Polygon commented that, at its best, the game serves to educate the player through trial and error instead of just punishing the player. In the first 2 weeks of the game's release, Cuphead sold over 1 million copies in the United States. They skyrocketed to about 4 million by July of 2019, and then they hit 5 million by the game's 2-year anniversary. Entertainment Weekly placed Cuphead on the best 5 games of 2017, while GamesRadar Plus ranked Cuphead 9th on their list of the best games of 2017. Cuphead was nominated for Breakout Game of the Year and PC's Best Game of 2017. Cuphead also won Best Xbox One Game of the Year in 2017 and Destructoid's Game of the Year 2017 as well. The game also won Best Looking and Best Art Direction for the Game Awards 2017. The game also won Best Music and Best Debut in the Pork Rinds Game of the Year 2017. Located on the fictional Isle of Inkwell, Cuphead and his brother Mugman are living a somewhat charmed life under the watchful eye of the Elder Kettle. The Elder warns them both of the Devil's warnings, and they proceed to enter the Devil's Casino and start a game of craps. After the brothers go on a win streak, the Devil offers to raise the stakes. If they win the next roll, they keep all the money, but if they lose, the Devil can take control of their souls. Cuphead then proceeds to lose by rolling Snake Eyes, and the Devil commits to the deal, unfortunately. The brothers are then granted powers from their Elder Kettle to The brothers then have to travel across Inkwell Isle, fighting the debtors in order to reobtain their souls. Upon their entrance into the second island, however, the Elder Kettle has to inform the brothers to do the right thing when they face the Devil once more. After the two brothers reobtain their contracts, they return to the Devil's Casino. They then come face to face with King Dice. He apparently had lost a debt to the Devil on whether the brothers would make it back safely. King Dice forces them to fight his own henchmen before confronting the two brothers directly. After defeating King Dice, the player has 2 options. The first option is going to be returning their contracts to the Devil. If this option is somewhat chosen, the Devil turns the brothers into his evil henchmen and the game just ends. If not, the Devil becomes angry at the brothers for not committing to the deal, and he decides to fight them himself. Cuphead and Mugman then triumph over the Devil, burn the contracts, and race back to Inkwell Isle. Learning that they no longer fear the Devil, the former debtors praise the brothers for their heroic actions. Thank you all so much for watching today's YouTube video. I've been wanting to make this video for as long as I can remember, and I'm more than thrilled to finally get it released and out. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I hope you have a great day.